In today's video, I'm going to be back in Legacy car driving with a Mercedes GT63S, and I'll be taking on the track to see how well this thing handles. So with that being said, let's get straight into it. Now I like to call this thing the Grey Shark. Hopefully the Grey Shark doesn't let me down. But launch this thing in 3, 2, 1, blast off. Nice acceleration. I'm pretty sure this thing should handle well because it's all-wheel drive and I have the best tires equipped. So I'm hoping or expecting some good handling, because I don't think I really have any problem or had any problem with this thing before. But let me know what you guys think. Is this thing gonna handle well or super bad? So far it's doing okay. I'm not expecting too much understeer or oversteer, but I know that both of them are still possible. Got some oversteer there, but we're good. Able to control it. So far it's doing okay. Doing a little tire screeching, got a little more oversteer there. But we're not worried about the oversteer. As long as it isn't too big or too much angle, we should be good. So far it's doing okay. This is what I like to see. Even though we haven't really passed most of the major turns. I mean, we did pass 2 already, so that's good. Usually when we pass like some of the major turns, we can already tell if it's gonna handle super well or not based on how we took them. So far it's taking the turns very well, hopefully. But I have a lot of faith in this thing, because as I said before, I don't think I really had any problem with this thing before. It handled super well. I think I've driven it a few times. Well, actually I think this was not my first car in the game, but like very close to that, my third car. So I kind of know how this handles. Unless the game well, I'm pretty sure the game changed some of the stuff with this thing, because the sound is also very different. It did not sound like this before, but I like it a lot more now. I think the game changed a lot of the Mercedes sound, because this is like the second or third car I'm hearing the different sound that's a Mercedes in the game, which is pretty cool. I don't know if they changed the handling or anything like that, but I know that the sound is different. But I know that I changed some of the suspension and stuff like that. That's some major oversteer there, but we're able to control it. So far this thing is doing very well. I don't know why, but when I take some of those turns, I feel like I'm going to lose it for a second there. So far this thing is doing very well. It's eating up the track, no problem. The big turns. Very cool. Took that well, even though we got some oversteer there. So far this thing is just oversteering straight up. But it's not like oversteer where it's very uncontrollable or anything like that. It's a very controllable oversteer. I haven't seen any understeer, which is good. Little major turn there. Take it with ease. There we go. Yeah, this thing is handling a lot. That's some decent handling, which is expected. And a little wobbly there. Let me know if it was handling like how you guys expected so far. So far for me, it's handling like I expected. Well, I didn't really expect oversteer that much, but it's not really a very uncontrollable oversteer, as I said before. Whenever it oversteers, it's still very controllable, very easy to correct. So I don't really see any major problem with it there. And the brakes are actually very good as well. Oversteer. This thing is an oversteer master. But at least it's not trying to kill you when it does it. Well, I mean, if you don't correct it pretty quick, I'm pretty sure it will try it. But so far, I think I've passed few of the major turns, so that's good. and it did super well on them, even though it did have a little oversteer. Did super well. Pretty sure oversteer is the most thing I've said in this video. Positive it is. I feel like it's very loose sometimes. Well, not very, but a little loose. Or when it's turning, just like hugs the turn super sharp. You gotta be careful that it doesn't just like fully swing you to that direction. Okay, I'm not gonna say it's loose. I'm gonna say the rotation is very quick. Because when the weight transfer is that the car just want to go turn super sharp on you. Another major turn coming up. Got some oversteer there, but I think that's the longest oversteer I had so far, because I was kind of turning into it. At least we finally got to hug that bit. I think I've did it before, but I'm not sure if I catch it on video. Usually I try to hug that bit and I'd either go into the curb or go all of it. So far this thing is doing well. I love the handling. The oversteer kind of makes it a little fun from time to time, but as long as it's controllable, I don't really have a problem with it. Gotta be careful of the grass. Hug the apex steering very tight. But I don't think this would lose control on me that easily, because all the drive was really drive them properly. More oversteer. My bad there, that was my fault. Came back on the gas way too quick there. But that was just a little mishaps. I'm not gonna blame the car, because that was my fault. So I can't really say that the car didn't do its job there, because I did not really put my foot on gas, but hit the gas way too quick. So far I think we made it to the end pretty much. There's only one more major turn that can cause us problem, but I don't think it's going to cause us problem. But that's why I said I gotta be careful of the rotation, because when this thing turns, it turns super sharp. You gotta be very careful that you don't overturn it. I don't even think there's such a thing. But I'm not talking about oversteer. I'm talking about turning where the car turns so sharp, it just like tries to send you straight in the direction you're turning super hard. I don't think that's oversteer. You can hear the tires screeching. Got some slip angle there as well. There we go. Not bad, not bad. Car handled super well. I think I only had one mishap, which was my fault. I'm not going to blame it on the car any at all. So I'm going to say this thing handled super well. Coming in hot. Wow. Almost kissed the curb there, or the barrier. Show you guys the setup real quick. Let's just pull her in there. Hold up. Let's see if we line it up well. Yeah, we did. You see, when you're in first person, you can't really see the little ramps thing here, so you gotta line it up from a distance, and we did line it up super well. But now I'm gonna show you guys the setup real quick, and my rating for this thing was a 9 out of 10. Or 9.5. I didn't really see any flaw. The only reason I'm giving that 9.5 is a little oversteer, but it's not really a major issue. Like if you know how to control or like counter steering time, it's not gonna be a big problem. And I only had one mishap, which was my fault, as I said, so I'm not gonna blame it on the car. But this thing handled super well. But for the alignment, this is how I have it. The camber, the rear is pretty much stock. Caster, rear didn't change anything at all. The toe, I don't really trouble the toe unless I'm messing with a drift car or something like that, so I don't think I would really change it. The stiffness, front, rear, damping, front, rear, height offset. If you want to lower it, you can, but if you want to leave it stock, it's up to you. I only lowered it because the car looked very high for a stock car, to be honest. Okay, let's forget about the gearbox. The gearbox is really important. The final drive, torque vector, front diff power, front diff ghost, rear diff preload, rear diff power, rear diff ghost, rear diff preload. Now if I'm going too fast, you can always pause it. And for the steering, this is where I have it. And for the drive chain, it's already drive. I'm not going to change that. For the tires, I have the race tires equipped. Now I do recommend you guys getting the best brakes or the strongest brakes as force. And I'm just going to show you guys the gearbox just in case you want to change the gears to how I have it. Go a little slower here because this thing actually has 9 gears, which is kind of, I think this is one of the, well, I'm not sure how many cars in the game have highest gears, but I think this is the first car that I've seen with 9 gears. But I'm pretty sure there might be some more with 9 gears. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you found it helpful. And if you do have this car, definitely get it and test it out on the track. If you don't, definitely buy it. I mean, it's not, I'm not gonna remember the price because I bought this was one of the first cars I bought when I started playing the game. So there's no way I'm gonna remember the price, but I know it was 100k something. But yeah.